I mostly read public domain books here on Glenn Reads Books to You, and they were written a long time ago, so they're usually racist, or sexist, or bigoted, but in there somewhere is a story, and that's why those stories are famous. Other times, I read works from independent authors, and they're delightfully not racist, but they might have adult language or adult situations, like, making sex. So that's your warning, but I'm sure you're grown up enough to handle it. Don't write to me complaining. Summer. It's the July 4th weekend here in America. Ow. I forgot about you. Yeah, get seated. I was just telling myself, not realizing you were going to show up, that, the Germans are in town, and one of the Germans, it's their birthday on the 4th of July. So we've decided that we want to celebrate their birthday and the holiday in the most American way possible. Possible? Okay. Here in the Midwest, so we've got a grill. First time I've owned a grill forever. And we even bought an above-ground pool. So that way, we have a little party for them. Everyone's going to show up, and they're going to mill around and swim in a pool and eat hamburgers. Too bad they're vegan. So, that's going to be fun. But you're back. It's just unfortunate. Kind of forgot about you. I read this boring story just to make you go away, but here you are. So welcome to the Glenn Reads Books to You mansion. It's a fun little bit where I pretend to live in a mansion and not just recording in my basement. This is where I read the hottest public domain books and short stories. This week, we're going to continue to read Act 4 of Much Ado About Nothing by William Shakespeare. Want to learn about the author? Sure. William Shakespeare was baptized in April 1564 because they don't know when he was born, and he died the 23rd of April, 1616. He was an English playwright, poet, and actor, and is regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the world's preeminent dramatist. He's often called England's national poet and the Bard of Avon, or simply the Bard. His extant works include collaborations, consist of some 39 plays, 154 sonnets, 3 long narrative poems, which gotta be a lot of fun to read, and a few other verses, some of uncertain authorship. His plays have been translated into every major living language and are performed more often than those of any other playwright. He remains arguably the most influential writer in the English language, and his works continue to be studied and interpreted. Here's some fun facts? Sure. Did you know that William Shakespeare is an anagram for I am a weakish speller? The Bible contains a hidden message to Shakespeare, possibly. In the King James Bible, the 46th word of Psalm 46 is shake, and is the 46th word from the end of the same psalm in spear. Some think this was a hidden birthday message to the bard, as the King James Bible was published in 1611, the year of Shakespeare's 46th birthday. Coincidences happen. I don't know. There's one time I pooped a lot on a Thursday and thought, well, that's weird. And then a month later, I pooped again on a Thursday and didn't stop to think to myself, my God, the Lord is sending me a message. Uranus's moons are named after Shakespeare characters. The moons of Uranus were originally named in 1852 after magical spirits from English literature. The International Astronomy Union subsequently developed the convention to name all further moons of Uranus, of which there are, 27, after characters in Shakespeare's plays, or Alexander Pope's The Rape of the Lock. Weird choice. Abraham Lincoln and his assassin were both really into Shakespeare. The American president Abraham Lincoln was a great lover of Shakespeare's plays and frequently recited from them to his friends. His assassin, John Wilkes Booth, was a famous Shakespearean actor. So, there you go. Shakespeare's grave now shows him holding a quill. His original grave marker showed him holding a bag of grain. Citizens of Stratford replaced the bag with the quill in 1747. Isn't that nice? Shakespeare has introduced 3,000 words to the English language. He's been credited by the Oxford English Dictionary with introducing almost 3,000 words to the English language. Estimations of his vocabulary range from 17,000 to a dizzying 29,000 words. At least double the number of words used by the average conversationalist. Never heard that talked about before. Did you know that you are also a conversationalist? If anyone ever, you need to pad your resume, add in conversationalist, and say you've been doing it from whatever year you started to speak. Well, why don't we get out of here, go down to the library, and start reading the next act. Well, there you go. Why don't you get yourself all nice and settled here in my big, luxurious library chairs. We're going to read Scene 1. And just to give you a brief overview so that you don't get lost in the jumble of the way old people used to speak, everyone gets to the church to watch these two strangers get married. But when the Friar Francis asks Claudio if he'll do it, he becomes a little baby piss pants because he's convinced the lying bastard Don John isn't lying this time. The words unchaste and whore are used a lot. Don Pedro goes on the record to support Claudio, and together they accuse Hero of sexual looseness. Leonardo gets all dramatic and asks for a dagger to kill himself right there on the spot. Hero passes out. Claudio, Don Pedro, and Don John take off while Benedict and Beatrice run up to help. Leonardo says, just let her die, and Beatrice isn't having any of that shit. Verp. The friar says that the expression on Hero's face, before she passed out, looked genuine. So she's not guilty. And then when Hero wakes up, she starts telling people she's a virgin. And Benedict decides that he has to be the work of the bastard. He just needs to prove it. The friar comes up with a plan to tell everyone Hero's dead, and boy, will they'll be sorry if they accused her wrongly. But if she's guilty, she can just sneak out. Leonardo agrees with this plan. Everyone leaves so that Beatrice and Benedict are alone. Benedict tries to comfort Beatrice, and he admits that he's in love with her. That'll change the subject. That'll get her mind off it, the near murder. And Beatrice says the same. Benedict says that he will do anything for her, and she pulls the, can you kill Claudio for me? Card. Something that's kind of a red flag in a new relationship. So let's get started. Act 4, Scene 1. Enter Don Pedro, Don John, Leonardo, Friar Francis, Claudio, Benedict, Hero, Beatrice, and the attendants. Leonardo, come, Friar Francis, be brief, only to the plain form of marriage, and you shall recount their particular duties afterwards. Friar Francis, to Claudio, you come hither, my lord, to marry this lady? Claudio, no. Leonardo, to be married to her. Friar, you come to marry her. Friar says, lady, you come here to be married to this count. Hero says, I do. If either of you know any inward impediment to why you should not be conjoined, charge you on your souls to utter it. Claudio, do you know any, Hero? None, my lord. Friar Francis, do you know any count? Leonardo, I dare not make his answer. None. Claudio, what men dare do. What men may do. What men daily do, not knowing what they do. Benedict, how now? Interjections. Why then, some be of laughing as, aha, he. Claudio, stand thee by, friar. Father, by your leave, will you, with free and unconstrained soul, give me this maid, your daughter? Leonardo, as freely son as God did give her to me. And what have I to give back, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift? Don Pedro, nothing, unless you render her again. Claudio, sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonardo, take it back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend, but she is a sign and semblance of her honor. Behold, how like a maid she blushes here. What authority and show of truth. Can cunning sin cover itself withal? Comes not the blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all that you see her, that she were a maid by these exterior shows? But she is not. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. I say, a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty. Leonardo, what do you mean, my lord? Oh, not to be married, not to knit my soul to an approved wanton. My dear lord, if you in your own proof have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity, I know what you would say. If I have known her, will you say that she did embrace me as a husband, and so exalt the forehand sin? No, Leonardo, I never tempted her with a word too large, but as a brother to his sister, showed bashful sincerity and comely love. He just made it a weird brother-sister thing. Hero, and seemed I ever otherwise to you? Claudio, out on thee, seeming, I will write against it. You seem to me as Darian in her orb, as chaste as the bud ere it be blown. But you are more intemperate, I can say that word, in your blood than Venus, those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality. Is my lord well? Doth he speak so wide? Leonardo, sweet prince, why speak not you? Don Pedro, what should I speak? I stand dishonored that I have gone about to link my dear friend to a common stale. Leonardo, are these things spoken, or do I dream? Don John, sir, they are spoken, and these things are true. Benedict, this looks not like a nuptial. Hero, oh, true, oh, God. Claudio, Leonardo, stand I here? Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face Hero's? Our eyes our own? Leonardo, all this is so, but what of this, my lord? Let me but move one question to your daughter, and by that fatherly and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truly. I charge thee do so as thou art my child. Hero, God defend me. How I am beset, this kind of catechizing, call you this? Claudio, to make you answer truly to your name. Is it not Hero who can blot that name with any just reproach? Marry, that I can, Hero. Hero itself can blot out Hero's virtue. Oh, what man was he talked with your yesternight out at your window betwixt 12 and 1? Now, if you're a maid, answer to this. I talked with no man at that hour, my lord. Don Pedro, why, you are no maiden. Leonardo, I'm sorry you must hear. Upon my honor, myself, my brother, and this grieved count, did you see her, hear her at that hour last night talk with a ruffian, at her chamber window, who hath indeed, most like a liberal villain, confessed the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times? In secret. Don John, fee, they are not to be named, my lord, not to be spoke of. There is not chastity enough in language, without offense, to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment. Claudio, oh, Hero, what a hero hast thou been! In half thy outward graces have been placed about thy thoughts and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well, most foul, most fair. Farewell, thou pure impiety and impious purity. For thee I'll lock up all gates of love, and on my eyelids shall conjecture hang, to turn all beauty into thoughts of harm, and never shall it be more gracious. Leonardo, hath no man a dagger here, point for me? Hero swoons. Beatrice, why, how now, cousin? Wherefore sink you down? I love that Hero is starting to fall over, and she's like, oh, where are you going to land? Don John, come, let us go. These things come thus to light. Smother her spirits up. Exit Don Pedro, Don John, and Claudio. Benedict, how doth the lady? Beatrice, dead, I think. Help, uncle. Hero, why, Hero, uncle, Signor Benedict, friar. Leonardo, oh, fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fierce cover for her shame. That may be wished for. Beatrice, how now, cousin Hero? Hero stirs. Friar Francis to Hero, have comfort, lady. Leonardo to Hero, dost thou look up? Friar Francis, wherefore should she not? Leonardo, wherefore? Why doth not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? And could she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Oh, do not live, Hero. Do not ope thine eyes, for did I think thou wouldst not quickly die. Thoughts, aye, thy spirits were stronger than thy names. Myself would, on the reward of reproaches, strike at thy life. Grieved I had but one Child, I for that frugal nature's frame, oh, one too much by thee. Why had I one? Why have ever thou lovely in thy eyes? Why had I not with a charitable hand took up a beggar's issue at my gates? Who smirched thus, and mired with infamy? I might have said, no part of it is mine. This shame derives itself from unknown loins? But mine. The mine I loved, and mine I praised, and mine I was proud on. Mine so much that I myself was to myself not mine. Valuing her, why, she's fallen into a pit of ink, that is as wide as the sea. Hath drops too few to wash her clean again, and salt too little to which it may season give to her foul-tainted flesh. Benedict, sir, be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder, I know not what to say. Beatrice, on my soul, my cousin is belialed. Benedict, lady, were you her bedfellow last night? Beatrice, no, truly not, although until last night I have this 12th month been her bedfellow. Leonardo, confirmed. Oh, that is stronger made, which was before barred up with ribs of iron. Would the two princes lie and Claudio lie? Who loved her so that, speaking of her foulness, washed it with tears? Hence from her, let her die. Hear me little, for I have only silent for so long, and given away this course of fortune by noting of the lady. I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start into her face, 1,000 innocent shames. In angel whiteness beat away those blushes, and in her eye here hath appeared a fire to burn the errors that these princes hold against the maiden truth. Call me a fool. Trust not my reading, nor my observations, which with experimental seal doth warrant the tenor of my book. Trust not my age, my reverence, calling, nor divinity, if this sweet lady lie not guiltless here under some biting error. Leonardo, friar, it cannot be. Thou seest that all the grace that is half left is that she will not add to her damnation a sin of perjury. She not denies it. Why seekest thou to cover it with the excuse which appears improper nakedness? Friar Francis, lady, what man is he that you are accused of? Hero, who's apparently now awake, they know that do accuse me. I know none. If I know more of any man alive than that which a maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. Oh, Father, prove you that any man with me conversed at hours unmeet, or that I yesternight maintained the change of words with any creature. Refuse me, hate me, torture me to death. Friar Francis. There is some strange misprison in these princes. Benedict, two of them have the very bent of honor, and if their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lives in John the bastard, whose spirits toil in frame of villainies. Leonardo, I know not if they speak but truth of her. These hands shall tear her if they wrong her honor. The proudest of them shall well hear of it. Time hath not yet so dried the blood of mine, nor age so eaten up my invention, nor fortune, made such havoc of my means, nor my bad life reft me so much of friends, but that they shall find awakened in such a kind, both strength of limb and policy of mind, he literally likes to rhyme, ability and means and choice of friends, to quit me of them thoroughly. Friar Francis, pause a while. And let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here, the princess, left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in and publish it that she is dead indeed. Maintain a mourning ostentation, And then on your family's old monument, hang mournful epitaphs that do all rites that appertain unto burial. Leonardo, what should become of this? What will this do? Friar, Mary, this, well carried, shall on her behalf change slander to remorse. Oh, that is some good. But not for that dream I on this strange course, but on this travail look for greater birth. She, dying, as it must be so maintained upon the instant that she was accused, shall be lamented, pitied and excused of every hearer. For it so falls out that we shall have a prize, not the worth, while we enjoy it. But being lacked and lost, when we rack the value, we find the virtue that possession would not show us. While it is ours, and so will it fare with Claudio. When he shall hear she died upon his words, the idea of her life sweetly creep into his study of imagination. Oh, every lovely organ of her life shall come apparelled in the precious habit, more moving, delicate, and full of life, and into the eye and prospect of his soul than when she lived indeed. Then shall he mourn, and if ever love had interested in this liver, and if wish he had not so accused her, no, he thought this accusation true, let it be so, and doubt not but success will fashion the event in better shape. Then I can lay it on down in likelihood, that if all aim but this be levelled false, the supposition of the lady's death will quench the wonder of her infamy, and if so sort not well, you may conceal her, as best befits her wounded reputation in some reclusive religious life, out of all eyes, tongues, minds, and injuries. Benedict. Oh, Signor Leonardo, let the friar advise you, And though you may know my inwardness, and love is very much unto the Prince Claudio, yet by mine honor I deal in this as secretly and justly as your soul should be with your body. Leonardo. Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead me. Friar Francis. 'Tis well consented. Presently away, for to strange sores, strangely they strange the cure. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day, perhaps, is prolonged, but have patience and endure. Everyone leaves except for Benedict and Beatrice. Benedict. Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while? Beatrice. Yeah, and I will weep a little longer. I will not desire that. You have no reason. I do it freely. Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged. Oh, how much might the man deserve of me that would right her? Is there any way to show such friendship? A very even way, but no such friend. May a man do it? It's a man's office, but not yours. I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is not that strange? Beatrice. Oh, it is as strange as the thing I know not. It were as possible for me to say I love nothing so well as you, but believe me not, and yet I lie not, I confess nothing, nor deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin. By my word, Beatrice, thou lovest me? Do not swear and eat it. I will not swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you. Will you not eat your word? With no sauce, that I can be devised to it, I protest I love thee. Why then, God forgive me. What offense, sweet Beatrice? You've stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you. Oh, and do it with all thy heart. I love you so much of my heart that none is left to protest. Oh, come, bid me do anything for thee. Kill Claudio. Now for the wide world. Oh, you kill me to deny it. Farewell. Tarry, sweet Beatrice. Beatrice, I am gone, though I am here. There is no love in you. Nay, I pray you, let me go. Beatrice, in faith, I will go. We'll be friends first. You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy. Is Claudio thine enemy? He's not approved in the height of a villain that has slandered, scorned, and dishonored my kinswoman, or that I were a man. Oh, what bear her in hand until they come to take hands, and then, with a public accusation and covered slander, unmitigated rancor, oh God, that I were a man, I would eat his heart in the marketplace. Now hear me, Beatrice, talk with a man out at a window, a proper saying. Nay, but Beatrice, sweet hero, she is wrong, she is slandered, she is undone. Be it princes and counties, surely and princely testimony, a goodly count. Count come effect, a sweet gallant, surely. Oh, that I were a man for his sake, or that I had any friend who would be a man for my sake, but manhood is melted into courtesies, valor, and complaint. The men are only turned to tongue, and trim ones, too. He is now as valiant as Hercules, that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing, therefore I will die a woman with grieving. Oh, tarry, good Beatrice, by this hand I love thee. Use it for my love in some other way than by swearing by it. And I think that you in your soul, the Count Claudio, hath wronged hero, yea, as sure as I have thought or a soul. Enough. I'm engaged. I will challenge him, and I will kiss your hand, and so I leave you. By this hand, Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead, and so farewell. That reminds me of something. It reminds me of a man who loved glass. It was his friend. It was the only thing that got him through a hard time in his life, and parents that never stopped arguing, and a dad who left for cigarettes. I'm not going to get into that, but he loved, during those times, looking out his glass window. His glass windows were real cheap, so they kept cracking all the time. But it was beautiful how the light shone through the cracks and showed little kind of prismatic rainbows everywhere. And oh, he loved it. It's a magical world of glass. Then one day, he met a woman in his teens, and they fell in love. And before she went to college, he realized, I'm going to lose her. I can't lose her. I love her. And she's the only one that puts up with me always talking about glass all the time, because as a teenager, he just made it a hobby. Boy, was he obsessed with it, too. He got really obnoxious. He'd spend all of his time being quote-unquote self-taught about glass because he didn't have enough money to go to college, so he's always kind of bragging about, like, I'm smarter than any other professional college glass boy. I'm self-taught and I'm better than them. So she put up with it. And one day, a piece of glass fell off of the IDS tower in Minneapolis, flew down like a giant razor, straight down, and cut off this woman's dad's head. After that, she vowed to destroy all glass, which is a problem for my friend Stephen Dorglass. And Stephen said, how can I choose between you and glass? And she said, if you love me, you will help me in my quest to destroy all glass in the world, the glass that killed my very own father. And he said, I don't know if I can do that. I think perhaps you ask too much. And she said, this is the moment where you decide. Pure love and my support through your entire life, or glass. He chose glass. Stephen Dorglass from Dorglass Incorporated, DORGLASS.com. They're dedicated to fabricating, professionally installing the highest quality glass products from the nation's top manufacturers. Their inventory, combined with their years of experience, makes them the premier source for installation and repair. They approach every project with the same goals: professionalism, integrity, and they're discreet. And perhaps you'll see him as he installs your glass window with a tear in his eye. He'll claim, oh, it's the sun reflecting against this glass into my face that's caused my eyes to well up with tears. But really, it's because he chose this and servicing you in your home over what could have potentially have been the love of his entire life. What do they do? Commercial storefronts, automatic entrances, windows, patio doors, mirrors, shower doors, installation, repair, and they'll design and build anything you ask for while he cries. Their clients are the Pottery Barn, Williams-Sonoma, Shorman-Williams, Portillo's, and the Salt Cave, which is a place with the Himalayan walls. I've done this before, and if you touch the Himalayan salt walls with the lights behind them, so it looks like you're inside some sort of womb, you do your yoga, and God knows what other kind of white people shit you do in there, do not touch them. It's on their website. Do not touch the walls. If you touch the walls, they're going to kick you out. And Applebee's. Well, with that, why don't we continue reading where we left off and try to wrap up the rest of this damn act? Act 4, Scene 2. Enter Dogberry, Verges, and Sexton in gowns. And the watch with Conrad and Baraccio. This is going to be confusing to read out loud, and I apologize. Dogberry, is our whole dissembly appeared? Verges, a stool and a cushion for the sexton. A stool is brought in. Sexton sits. Sexton, which be the malefactors? Dogberry, marry that I am, and I my partner. Verges, nay, that's certain. We have the exhibition to examine. Sexton, but there are offenders that to be examined. Let them come before Master Constable. Dogberry, yea, marry, let them come before me. What is your name, friend? Baraccio and Conrad come forward. Baraccio, Dogberry, pray, write down Baraccios. Yours, sir? I am a gentleman, sir, and my name is Conrad. Write down Master Gentleman Conrad. Masters, do you serve God? Oh, yes, sir. We hope, say the both of them. Write down that they hope they serve God, and write God first, for God defend, but God should go before such villains. Masters, it is proved already that you are little better than false knaves. You will go near to be thought so shortly. How answer you for yourselves? Conrad, marry, sir, we say we are none. A marvelous witty fellow, I assure you, but I will go about with him. Come you hither, sir, a word in your ear. Sir, I say to you, it is thought you are false knaves. Baraccio, sir, I say to you that we are none. Oh, well, stand aside. For God, they are both in a tale. Have you writ down that they are none? Sexton, Master Constable, you do not go the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers. Dogberry, yea, marry. That's the Effist way. I don't know. I'm going to look up Effist. It's going to be pretty obvious, I'm sure, like the safest. A juvenile stage of a newt. Okay, let the watch come forth. Masters, I charge you, in the prince's name, accuse these men. First watchman? This man said, sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain. Oh, write down Prince John as a villain. Why, this is flat perjury to call the prince's brother a villain. Baraccio, Master Constable, Dogberry, pray thee, fellow, peace. I do not like thy look, I promise thee. Sexton to the watch. Word heard you say else? Second watchman, marry that he had received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing the lady hero wrongfully. Dogberry, flat burglary was ever committed, Verges. Yea, by mass that is. Sexton, what else, fellow? And that Count Claudio did mean upon his words to disgrace Hero before the whole assembly, and not marry her. Dogberry to Baraccio, oh, villain, thou wilt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this. Sexton, what else? That's all. Sexton, this is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John is this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in the very manner refused, and upon the grief of this, suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be bound and brought to Leonato's, and I will go before and show him their examination. They all exit. Dogberry, come, let them be opinioned. Verges, let them be in the hands. Conrad, off coxcomb. Oh, Lord, now I gotta look up coxcomb. Coxcomb, a vain and conceited man. A dandy. Well, that's quite the insult, I'm sure. Dogberry, God's my life. Where's the sexton? Let him write down the prince's officer. Coxcomb, come, bind them, thou naughty varlet. Conrad, away, you're an ass. Dogberry, dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that we were here to write me down an ass. But masters, remember that I am an ass, though it not be written down. Yet forget not that I'm an ass. Oh, no, thou villain. Thou art full of piety, and shall be proven upon thee by good witness. And I am a wise fellow, and, which is more, an officer, which is more, a householder, and, which is more, a pretty piece of flesh, as in any in Messina. And no one knows that the law go to a rich fellow enough, go to, and a fellow that hath had losses, and one that hath 2 gowns, and everything handsome about him. Bring him away. Oh, that I had been writ down an ass. Exit. Now that's the end of that scene. Why don't we go to the smoking room where we can sit down and smoke a cigarette while we talk about what we just read. Normally this is where I review what we read, but I'm giving you the reviews with each scene, so screw that. What did I like about this? I don't know, the drama. You got a guy who's just little baby piss pants. He's just running around, getting all mad all the time. You got a bastard that apparently everyone knows is a bastard, And everyone says this guy sucks, and he's a liar, and he's jealous of his brother who's not a bastard. Whether it's fair, it's not. I mean, that's just the culture back then. If you were a bastard, then you just weren't trusted. You could hang around people, but they just didn't really trust you. But then here they're like, well, we don't trust him, and we don't like him, but, oh boy, he showed her to be a horse, and now we just believe him right away. No one's going to second guess it. So I guess I like the drama. Yeah, you got drama in here, not just love all the time and the witty banter, which I was getting kind of tired of. But now you got drama. So much drama that the hero just passes out, and then people are like, oh, are you passing out? And she's passing out. And then the dad is like, oh, someone give me a knife. I want to kill myself right here. So that's pretty good. What did I not like? I guess the way women are treated. But we'll get into that when we talk about what we just read. Beatrice says, in Act 1, as strange as the thing I know not, it were as possible for me to say I love nothing so well as you. But believe me not, and yet I lie not, I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing, I am sorry for my cousin. Here, she's being confusing. She's creating a paradox to answer Benedict to not actually say anything by her saying, I love nothing so well as you, which could mean that she loves him a ton. But since she's the person talking about how she hated the idea of love, it could mean that she doesn't love him at all, which creates tension and would suck for Benedict since he just love-bombed her. When she says she neither confesses or denies her love for him, she's trying to say that she doesn't not like Benedict, but she can't confess her love right away either, mainly because she's worried about Hero and doesn't want to get selfish about her own love. Which is clear when this part happens. Benedict says, with no sauce that can be devised to it, I protest, I love thee. Beatrice says, I love you so much with my heart that none is left to protest. And then Benedict says, come, bid me do anything for thee. And she says, kill Claudio. Talking about the sauce, that's a little weird, but it's a term back then for just not joking. They have spent so much time poking fun at each other that he feels like he has to say that today we probably just say, no, but for real though, I'm super serious. But so, they said sauce. Little weird. Then he says that he protests that he loves her, which is another weird thing to say, but he's reflecting on how he's never wanted to love anyone to begin with, and how before all this all happened against his will, he just wanted to drink and wrestle with the fellas. So, giving up all control, he says that he would do anything she wants, so she tells him to kill his best child friend Claudio, putting him in a position to give up the life of a kid he really likes for her love. He says no, that's crazy, and then Beatrice starts being confusing again to pressure him by saying, I am gone, though I am here. There is no love in you, nay, I pray you let me go. To say, well, I just stopped loving you. I'm standing here, but I've totally checked out emotionally. Then Beatrice talks about how all these honorable men are talking crap about Hero and how frustrating it is that they can openly lie about someone without any repercussions. She uses a nickname to make fun of Claudio, calling him Count Comfect, which comes from the same word as confectionery, trying to say that he's like candy and that he is fake in his sweetness. Then, by saying that all the men have melted into courtesies, she's saying that they're all standing by with little spineless turds while this all plays out instead of being responsible and make Claudio learn a lesson about being an actual decent person. In fact, she wishes she was a man so that she could take him down herself, even though she shouldn't have to. She's the only one that gives Hero the benefit of the doubt and is frustrated that all the men are being hailed as Hercules while being basically just stupid cowards. This part is actually pretty progressive for Shakespeare. He's pointing out how insane and frustrating the male-dominated society is for women of that time, and the only power she has in this situation is to convince another man to do the right thing, when it's already clear to her. She would prefer to just be in love with him, but she's thinking, to save another human being from being murdered or cast out of society, I'm gonna sacrifice my love for this person to convince this guy to go do this thing. You'd think that by saying you love someone and have them say, if you don't kill this guy, I don't love you anymore, is a red flag. But actually, she's the only person who cares about an innocent woman in this selfish world of crappy men. Oh, thank God for the grandfather clock. That means you've got to go home because it's late, and I will probably see you next week, even though I've done everything I can by reading this story to bore the hell out of you. And never have you come back. But since you gotta leave, and it's so late, I think I'm gonna go slip into my above-ground pool. It took about a week or so, but it finally got up to 76 degrees, which is still pretty cold for this old man's skin. But it's better than it was earlier, so I'm gonna wiggle around in there like a dolphin under the beautiful night sky. Just don't be watching me. Well, it appears you found me in the part of the podcast I hate the most, where I tell you all about the places on the internet where you can find me. You can tell I hate this because of the sound effects making it sound like a stormy night in the drawing room of the damned. Now, there's that. Are you cool? I like cool people. It's the reason why I got involved in this business to begin with, just to meet cool people. Not losers. So if you're cool, feel free to go over to my website, nuzzlehouse.com, which basically just points you to Mastodon. Why did I go all in with Mastodon? I have no idea. But if you go there, it'll point you to my link tree where you can listen to episodes, which is confusing and meticulous. But if you want to go to just my link tree, which is linktr.ee/Nuzzle House, it'll point you to all the rest of my shows, like Glenn Reads Books to You, which you're listening to right now, Gestating the Curious Mind, where my wife and I write paranormal smut and then publish it on Amazon, and also Nuzzle House's CBS Radio Mystery Theater, where we basically create our own episodes of Radio Mystery Theater, a show from the 70s, because they don't make them anymore. Damn it, we want to hear something new. Oh, I'm also on Instagram, something that I try to use but dislike, which is Instagram.com/HouseNuzzle. And the lesser now, thanks to Elon Musk, Twitter. Used to be my home, and now I can't stand it, which is Twitter.com/HouseNuzzle. And since I think you might be cool, you can always just email me directly, glenn.nuzzles@gmail.com. But don't email if you're a nerdling or a dork. Now, back to business. Can't believe I drank all of them already. There's gotta be one left.